The Oklahoma City Thunder absolutely crushed the Lakers in LA last night. They're still in LA taking on the Clippers tonight. Oklahoma City will be a 7-point favorite. The total sits at 228. That's been bet up from 226. Oklahoma City 63-16 straight up. 29-9 on the road, number one in the Western Conference, and the magic number is just one. They got to just win just one of their final three games to clinch first place in the West. The San Antonio Spurs are 3 games back. And that win last night, 123-87. Unfortunately, I actually bet on Oklahoma City's team total under 120.5. We missed that one by a bucket and a half there. But I put out my video before the news was released that LeBron James was going to sit out that game. So that certainly changed things. And that is a cautionary tale, a bit of a disclaimer. When you're watching these videos, when you're taking my advice or taking my advice with a grain of salt, as you always should, keep in mind that the injury reports often are developing. News comes out late. And the information I'm putting out may no longer be relevant by the time the games tip off, especially at this time of year. However, we still have plenty of good information for you. Let's get into some of that good information. Shilgeus Alexander, team high 28 minutes last night. He scored 25 points. The rest of the starters sort of played limited minutes. And I think the idea here is with Oklahoma City being a 7-point favorite, we saw what they did to the Lakers last night. You think they're going to go all out and try and get that Western Conference clinched tonight. I'm not so sure that they should be too liberal with the minutes for the starters. After all, we just saw what happened to the San Antonio Spurs. Wembanyama suffered a rib injury, left the game after playing just 16 minutes. Now he's doubtful to play tonight. In fact, the fact that Wembanyama is doubtful and the fact that Stephon Castle's doubtful, it's going to be a tough game for the Spurs against the Portland Trailblazers tonight. And if the Spurs lose that game, it's clinched. I would not take any chances with my starters if I was Oklahoma City. I'm not saying they should not try to win tonight's game. But what I'm saying is I think they should try and do it without leaning too heavily on their starters. See if the backups can carry the load here tonight. Because if you look at the remaining games, the Oklahoma City Thunder finished the season at home against the Phoenix Suns. And if you look at the standings, you can see that the Phoenix Suns are locked in to the play-in. They're basically locked into the 7 seed. I had a guy disputing that with me last night, but they're not. As of last night, they weren't completely locked in, but only a fool would believe they were going to move up or move down. So the point is, the Phoenix Suns are not going to be playing their starters. You're going to be looking at Phoenix's third stringers in the final game of the regular season on the road at Oklahoma City. So if Oklahoma City needs that game to clinch the West, which I don't think they will, then it shouldn't be that difficult for them to get it. So I'm kind of dialing back my expectations on an Oklahoma City blowout here in LA. After all, this team's just 6-7 straight up in the second game of a back-to-back so far this season. And they're 7-12 against the spread in their last 19 overall. I'm not sure I want to lay 7 points with Oklahoma City against a pretty competitive Clippers team that needs a win. We're going to talk about the LA Clippers. Before we do, let me tell you about a promotion we have available for this year's NBA playoffs. And when it comes to the NBA playoffs, there's no better handicapper to follow than myself. My name's Jesse Schul. I've got decades-long history of dominating in the NBA playoffs. You can see the numbers listed in front of you. Overall record of 202 and 158 for a staggering profit of 64 units since I arrived on the scene at Wager Talk. My numbers prior to that, well, let's say they were probably a lot better, but let's say they were just as good. Anyways, I'm 8-1 with my last 9 client plays in the NBA. Cashed in the Celtics team total under by 0.5 point last night. So we're coming in hot to the NBA playoffs. But the big news, I'm teaming up with my man Ben Burns And who's Ben Burns? He's just the #1 all-time basketball handicapper on the Wager Talk Network. And for limited time, you can get myself and Ben $198 for the rest of the season and the playoffs. That's $99 each. You can only find this at picksandparlays.net. You can find it on my page. You can find it on Ben's page. You're going to want to grab that right away because that's great value. Let's get back into this game. Let's talk about those Clippers. 41-38 straight up, 22-17 at home. They're currently sitting in the 8th seed, looking at a home game in the play-in, but they're only one game up on the Portland Trail Blazers, and they're coming off a 116-103 win over the Dallas Mavericks last night. Playoff Kawhi scored 34 points in 30 minutes. Let me tell you, nobody really talks about Kawhi anymore. But when it gets to the playoffs, Kawhi is still one of the best in the world. I don't think anybody should overlook that. The Clippers, though, just 4-10 in their games in second of a back-to-back so far this season. That being said, they are 10-4 in their last 14 home games against Oklahoma City. The under is 5-2 in the Clippers' last 7 overall. And these two games play a bit of a similar style. The Clippers rank 29th in the NBA in possessions per game, averaging just 100.3 possessions per game. They play a very slow pace. The Clippers rank 10th in overall defense, allowing 112 points per game. Oklahoma City ranks 2nd in the NBA in scoring defense, allowing 107.5 points per game. And Oklahoma City ranks 17th in possessions per game. So they play at a below average pace as well. Second game of back-to-back for both teams. The Clippers are at home. The Clippers really need this game. If you're talking about who needs this game, the Clippers need it because they need to hold off Portland, and because they're likely going to be playing. They could be playing Portland, but they're going to be in the play-in, and they want that home game. And it could very likely be a game against Portland. If it's not at home, yeah, that they certainly want to make sure they get the Blazers at home. So I like the Clippers. Give me the 7 points because I just think you're asking too much of the Oklahoma City Thunder on the road tonight. If you like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you've got anything to say to me, even if it's nasty, hit me up in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.